Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, starting with benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing in trade as well. We'll get you expert views to find out where exactly are they bullish, which are the sectors and stocks that you should keep on your radar, the top stock ideas, all of it coming up. But first up, a quick look at as to how the markets are trading as we begin the last half an hour of trade today. 19,535, the current levels for the Nifty. It's been hovering around half odd percent higher in trade for the last couple of hours amid a choppy trade that we've been witnessing right from the word go today. But where are we headed is something that we will continue to watch out for. What is keeping the markets afloat and in the green today? It's the IT stocks that have been doing very well, almost a percent higher in trade. The Nifty IT is the top sectoral index, followed by the broader markets that are also now picking up pace. Small cap 100 index is now inching higher to almost its day's high. And you can see a 0.7% move on the small cap 100 index. The autos are also changing gears to a faster one. 0.7% uptick for this one. The consumer durables, financial services, private banks, all of them are supporting the market move on the top today. Among the top gainers, you have L&T as the top gainer now, with over 2.5% up move coming in for this one. The stock is also inched higher and above 3,100 levels. Titan also follows next, 1.5% surge coming in for this one. From the IT majors, it's TCS and Infosys that are doing very well. Banking names such as ICICI Bank, you have Axis Bank that had been taking the top spot as well. Also, Asian Paints is now picking up pace. Bajaj Auto, that's also showing some strength. Eicher Motors is a top gainer again. Tata Motors, those are the auto names that are also coming up in flavor. Mahindra and Mahindra also picking up pace at this point in time. Of course, from the broader in universe, you had the mid-cap IT names also doing pretty well in trade right now. Birlasoft, Infibeam, Eclerc Services, these are the stocks that are doing very well. You also have some of those finance names like Cholamandalam Finance, Home First Finance, these kind of companies doing well. Defense majors again seeing some action. Cochin Shipyard up by 3% again today at 1,073. So these are the stocks that are doing pretty good at this point in time right here. Let's welcome our guest on the show then. Nilesh Jain joins in from Centrum Broking. Welcome Nilesh, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Great to have you back with us on Business Today. Help us understand what is your view on the markets right now. We've been seeing last week, 10 days or of some kind of consolidation taking place in the markets, volatile trading action as well. But where do you see the markets really headed? The World Cup action is picking up. Do you think the stock markets will also follow suit?
Very good afternoon to you, Sakshi. Good recovery we have seen in today's trading session. In fact, yesterday we have seen sort of a doji candlestick formation that hinted today's particular move. But we need to look at the broader time frame chart. The Nifty has faced resistance near about its 50 DMA, which is placed somewhere around 90,600. So that's the immediate hurdle we still have in place, and the major barrier is placed at 19,800. That's 21 DMA. So multiple resistances, multiple support. The Nifty seems to be trading in a very tight range, whereas 19,300 to 19,800 could be the 500-point trading range going forward. Today being weekly FN expiry, we have seen some amount of short covering move in the banking space specifically. So for the day, we expect Nifty to expire somewhere in the range of 90,520 to 90,560. Whereas Bank Nifty traded in line with the Nifty index, we expect Bank Nifty to move in the range of 42,000 to 44,500. So that's the 500-point trading range for the Bank Nifty as well. Overall, looking at the volatility index, where we have seen a fall in last 3-4 consecutive sessions, it has gone down below 11 level, and that is certainly a positive sign for the markets. Overall, we expect the market to consolidate. We do not see any major uptrend or downtrend on immediate basis, whereas the stock specific action we believe is likely to continue.
Okay, stock specific action will continue. We'll get onto the stocks, but let's talk about some themes. Today, the IT pack is doing very well. We also saw some action coming in on yesterday as well. Despite a muted trend yesterday, we did see some of the blue chip IT names coming back in flavor. Names like TCS, Infosys, they were seeing some pickup happening. Today, again, most of them are trading higher as well. The mid-cap IT space is seeing even a better action coming in with stocks like Birlasoft doing pretty well in trade today. About 4.5% move is what we've seen, and the stock has really run up pretty sharply over the last few months again. So the entire IT pack, of course, the action will accelerate next week when we will start to see the bellwether IT firms first report their quarterly earnings, and then the mid-cap IT names will also be in focus ahead of the earnings. What would you really suggest an investor to do right now?
Well, Sakshi, if you look at the Nifty IT index chart in last two consecutive sessions, we have seen good rebound where the Nifty IT index has found support of its 50-day moving average, which is placed currently at 31,400. So going forward, that is the crucial support zone. Whereas we have a major barrier near about 32,500 that needs to be taken off for further upside move to continue. Ahead of the numbers, we expect IT to witness some amount of pullback that we have seen is likely to continue. So the stock name that you have suggested from the heavyweights like TCS, Infosys continues to remain a preferred bet. Whereas from the mid and small cap space, I think Birlasoft is one counter where we have seen a good breakout in today's trading session. So where we can expect a further upside move to continue towards 525 to 540. And remember, BSOFT was the one of the outperformers from the mid cap and small cap space. So that particular counter is looking positive, can be bought on declines and as well as at current levels. Apart from that, TCS and Infosys in the coming week will be getting the numbers. We are likely to witness high amount of volatility in these sort of counters. So watch out for that as well. I think any decline could be a good opportunity to get into these counters. We have already witnessed a huge amount of correction from the high level. So still it is available at a corrected level. I feel it can be bought at current levels.
Okay, so that's as far as the IT pack is concerned. The other space that is slightly picking up pace right now is the auto pack as well, especially the two-wheeler names. You know, Bajaj Auto, Eicher Motors, these are the stocks that are picking up pace right now. Hero Moto also seeing about a percent uptick coming in. Anything that you spot in the two-wheeler major names? Of course, this entire space will be in focus right ahead of the festive season. You know, just about we have about 10 days to go before the Navratras pick up, and that's the auspicious time when a lot of us really go out there and buy vehicles for ourselves. How are you really looking at the opportunity for the entire auto pack to be, tapping this opportunity?
Absolutely, Sakshi. Navratri, then we have Diwali. So usually, historically, we have seen good amount of sales, specifically in the two-wheeler space. So Aicha Motor is one counter that is looking slightly on a positive side. Looking at the current structure, it has a good support near about 3,300. On the upside, we can expect further move to continue towards 3,550 to 3,600. So it can be bought at current level and on declines. Apart from that, Hero MotoCorp certainly it has witnessed a huge amount of consolidation. So not looking that quite promising at current level. I would rather avoid this particular counter. In fact, Bajaj Auto can be bought at current levels and on declines. So this particular counter is also looking positive for the upside move to continue towards 5,100 to 5,200. It can be bought at current levels and on declines, keeping stop loss below 4,800.
All right, got that. From we've discussed IT and the auto names, and the third space that I want to discuss with you is financials. How would you really treat each segment of this space? We've seen private banks, being a large underperformers for this entire year so far, vis-a-vis the PSU banks. But off late we've started to see some action picking up for ICICI Bank, HDFC, Axis Bank as well. And of course, the financial names, Bajaj Twins are doing very well at this point in time. Even the mid-cap home finance names and smaller finance banks as well, they are also doing pretty well. We'll leave out PSU banks for right now, but how do you treat these two spaces first?
First, start off with the index heavyweight counters like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, and also HDFC Bank. And we have seen a lot of selling pressure at the high levels. Although in last two consecutive sessions, we have seen an attempt has been made in term of pullback, but it looks like it is very much unlikely to sustain at the high levels, and we can expect another round of selling going forward. So overall, structure-wise, the bank Nifty is looking slightly on a weaker side compared to the Nifty index. The fall has been led by the counters like Axis Bank. Yesterday, there was a big bearish candle can be seen on a daily time frame chart. Kotak Bank, one of the underperformer within the private sector banking space. So the structure is not looking that promising. Yesterday as well, we have seen huge amount of build up on the short side in these sort of counters. So going forward, any pullback at all, if at all we see, might get sold into. And for the time being, it is better to stay away from the private sector bank. The other small banks can be bought, counters like CSB and Federal Bank, if at all we see any decline. So these are the counters can be bought on declines. Apart from that, if you talk about the financials, NBFC space as a whole, so Bajaj Finance recently hit a fresh all-time highs. The structure is certainly looking positive, but I would advise to buy on decline, not at current level. The risk and reward is not that much favorable at current level. So any decline towards 7,700, 7,600 could be a good opportunity to get into this particular counter for the upside move to continue towards 8,000 to 8,200. So a cautious approach needs to be advised at the current levels, specifically in the financial space. If at all we see any decent correction from here, that would attract a good buying opportunity.
All right, that's as far as the entire financial space is concerned. The other pack, and that is getting a lot of attraction these days, and this is the consumption space, be it consumer durables right ahead of the festive season, or also the entire hospitality chain. For example, even today you do see stocks like chalet hotels, Indian hotels, all of them picking up pace. EIH, these are the kind of stocks that are back in action today, and perhaps because of the entire demand boom that they are seeing amid the World Cup season, people traveling to various cities, booking hotels, which is at a peak right now. Right ahead of the festive season, Nilesh, how are you looking at this entire space? Any particular stock that you'd like to highlight that may actually give us a good fillip over the next 1.5 months when we do see this entire World Cup season pan out?
Absolutely, a bigger trigger we have is the World Cup, and ahead of that, the hotel stocks are certainly in focus. So we are liking Indian hotel. The structure is looking very strong. We have seen some amount of consolidation, then a breakout. Now again, it is breaking out from a small consolidation zone. The breakout was placed at somewhere around 412. So structure looks positive. It looks like it is heading towards its previous all-time high mark, somewhere near about 440. So that should be the immediate target. From next 1.5 month point of view, I think the stock has a potential to move towards 460 to 480 as well. So within hotel space, I think Indian hotel would be a preferred bet. One can keep a stop loss below 400. Apart from that, you spoke about the consumption space. So consumption, within consumption, we are liking McDowell, United States. Here we have seen a good amount of correction after hitting the high near about 1070. So it is available somewhere around 6 to 7% corrected level, and it has found good support near about 980 as well. So United States can also be bought at current levels for the upside to continue towards 1040 to 1080. Stop loss should be placed below 980.
All right. Well, many thanks then, Nilesh, for being with us on the show and discussing all of these, interesting stock ideas and sectoral outlook as we discuss markets and more even going forward with you. Many thanks for being with us. 106 points of a jump for the Nifty right now, 19,543, the current level at which it is trading at. Of course, a whole lot of, broader market action continues. But remember that it is a very, very choppy trading session that we've been witnessing. And the markets will also be now looking forward to what the RBI really talks about when we see, the interest rate action pick up place at 10 o'clock in the morning is when the RBI governor is expected to give us details of what the Monetary Policy Committee has decided as far as the rate action is concerned and the outlook going forward from here. And does inflation still continue to be a bigger enemy that the government will be and the RBI will also be looking at tackling at this point in time? Or is there a case for sooner or later rate reversal action to continue as well? And what would that really mean for the entire market scenario? We will continue to track all of it for you. So do stay tuned on to with us on Business Today Television today and tomorrow entire trading session too. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.
Tell us what is on your radar, what looks good.
Incidentally, Shell, whenever markets go down like this, my shopping list becomes longer and longer because there are so many ideas that we have to look at. So, two investment ideas. One is from the tire stroke OEM segment, Apollo Tires. You may argue that crude oil prices are elevated, whether the offtake will be there or not. But I think I was reading a report yesterday with the